crap. That was like the worst picture I've ever seen in my whole entire life on a game. What in the world is this noise? That was like the worst picture I've ever seen in my whole entire life on a game. Well, we're gonna fix that. I'm trying to figure out why my stream just started streaming in a little tiny mode.
Fucking.
What the crap is up with this stuff, man? Why is my...
Everything is so small and so slow. Did somebody just join the channel?
Howdy, friends.
Oh, somebody did.
It's just art.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, you know, doing my thing.
Oh no.
Making stuff and things. The usual.
Things are being done.
Yeah.
Dying of thirst.
Just dropped a whole bunch of awesomeness on the devs. It's like, hey, you guys should check this out.
Oh. What kind of awesome?
To which they're like, that's awesome. Hey, every once in a while, I have good ideas.
I take pride in not having any good ideas.
It's few and far between, but every once in a while.
Ideas are for quitters.
Well, see, I just don't have the ability to make them. So I'm like, if you guys do this, then I don't have to make it, and then I can just copy it later.
This is how it's gonna be.
Pretty much.
We're playing some Raft.
I've seen that. I'm watching on the other screen here. No,
I'm quote unquote playing Raft.
So in other words, you're telling him that he's rafting wrong.
No, I'm telling him that his internet is crap and it's making me raft wrong.
Okay.
Like, I'm actually holding my barrel that I just picked up on my screen. It is in my hand because it is so laggy.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I think I might have to... Oh, there we go.
That.
There we go. It's, I think I might have to restart the world or something. Won't save, or save's corrupted, possibly. I don't know, because I can't build any structures. So,
No.
log out
How
or relaunch it.
Oh, it's so much. Okay.
No.
You know, I've looked at this game a couple times, and I just haven't been able to be sold on it. Also, it may be the fact that I'm just utterly terrified of getting attacked by sharks.
Well, I mean, it's fun stabbing them in the face. That's a bonus.
Yeah, but I did that whole, what was it, Depth? I played that game for a while. Yeah, that was fun. Until it started not being fun, because I started getting a little creeped out every once in a while. It's just that heartbeat thing is what it makes me anxious. I'm like, I'm gonna die. There's a shark nearby.
Being in this one.
We actually just picked up a game called Desolate, which is supposed to be some kind of horror survival game. So we're hoping it pans out.
Multiplayer.
Yeah.
Well, it's co-op thing.
Why I know can build? Oh. No?
Because you're building in a wrong place.
That is very true. And we need...
Yeah, this desolate game, from what I have witnessed so far, is a very effective co-op game because each player individually will experience different noises and sounds that the other player doesn't hear, so it puts you even more on edge because there isn't a noise and then you both say, what was that? It's one of you says, what was that? And the other person's like, what was what?
What are you talking about? I didn't hear anything.
Yes, and it makes you really, really anxious. It's gonna be fantastic and terrifying. And I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
Apparently,
No, see that reminds me of like the old Alien game that I just wasn't a fan of because it was making me paranoid. It's one of those things like you don't play at night because you know, and I'm not as scared into like I don't get scared, but it's one of those things where I'm just like it puts me on edge enough that I'm like maybe this is not okay.
this is a whole bunch of nope.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, hey, there's a giant island in front of
What
us.
I want is to break this. What it wants is to not break. We are not on the same page.
What I want. Okay.
Smacks a single post, all Raft disappears.
Yeah, that'd be my luck.
Immediately eaten by sharks. Wife swims to safety, laughs at your face.
Hey, this is no fair. What?
Hey, you don't have to be fast. You just have to be faster than the slowest guy.
Right? Oh man. See, and that's where I'm like, I am not good at cardio, so it's not so much you have to be faster than the slowest guys. You gotta shoot better.
Just, hey, just an arrow to a knee. I don't care who you are. We'll put anyone down, adventurer or not. Just turn over and be like, ooh, stabby stab. Sorry. Now you can't run. That's okay. I can. Like, it's cool. Like, I'll remember you.
I'll remember you when I'm alive later tonight.
Right. Like, I'll drink in your honor.
Fun fact. You cannot stab a shark in the knee.
I would definitely try.
I feel like that's something that you should go to the devs about and be like, listen, first of all,
Challenge accepted.
your sharks don't have knees. That needs to happen. Like, let's go ahead and knock that barrier
We're
down.
not on the same
Let's
page,
get
devs. We need you to step up to the plate.
Well, that's like something like I was messaging Zephyr today and we were talking about a few things and I was like, hey, like I have a whole bunch of this D&D stuff, and he's like, oh, I play D&D. I'm like, all right, let me send it to you. He's like, holy crap, it's 5 gigs. I'm like, yeah, I have no life.
Yeah, mate, didn't you send that to us too?
I did. Well, there's a bunch of
Yes,
other fun stuff in there.
I need to look through that. I actually do D&D online with a couple mates of mine.
That's what he was telling me, and I was like, oh, then I've totally got to hook up for her. I believe I called it a future investment. I believe is what I called it. I was like, oh, this is just like a future investment. Like, it's cool. But no, like I was
like the majority, but my art is those guys' characters and stuff.
I looked at that stuff, and I mean, there's a lot of cool design work that they've put into their stuff in general, and I'm just like, oh, I could totally do this with Dark and Light if I just had the tools for it. Which is why I downloaded Blender today, or not Blender, Maya.
If I knew how.
Right, I was like, I'm gonna do some Maya work and learn, because
I've got Autodesk.
Working 60 plus hours. That's what I got it from, was Autodesk, because it was free.
Yeah.
I was like, put like 60 plus hours into work each week. Yeah, and working on a map, let's just stack some more stuff on here that I don't have to spend time in my life.
Holy shark, I just replaced that, man.
Which she don't care. She's like, I'm just gonna buy yarn. Like, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Well, in this case, whatever causes your boat not to sink.
Or your raft in our case.
Right. Well, I mean, you can almost call it a boat now.
It's gonna be a party barge when I'm done. Okay, there's something going on.
Like redneck style party barge, or I mean.
Well, possibly.
Because if so, you gotta have that. You gotta have the hats with like the beer bottles on both sides.
It's gonna be
like with the dolls.
It's gonna require more teeth, but yeah, close enough.
Yeah, I mean, potato. I think you're just kind of.
No, I'm grasping for straws over here.
Right. I would be grasping for sharks. Look, there's one right there. He's like, let me love you. But no, I was looking at like the gun. There's like a gunslinger in one of the things. It was like some concept art. I actually sent it. I sent it to not the gunslinger. I think I sent the blood hunter to Caldric because Caldric did the blood magic mod. And I was like, hey, do you need some more ideas for stuff to do for your blood magic mod? And I was like, there you go. Like, here's this guy, and he's like, dude, like that's. I'm like, yeah. So I messaged Zephyr. I was like, hey, we need more like fantasies, pistols, gunslinger stuff. Here's ideas on this. And he's like, those are actually pretty legit. Well, I'm glad you recognize my awesomeness. Now, back away, slow.
I would have been like, you should have known from day one, buddy. Now you're just.
Right, I was like, and you said you play D&D. He just said, he's like, LOL. It's like, wow. He's like, I'm glad I have you as a resource. Like, yeah, but this resource is glad that you actually listened to us for once.
No, what's an amazing game to get ideas from, as far as like tabletop RPGs.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff in there that I added in there too. Like there's there's books on like making fantasy maps. I think I put them in like what's the new folder? I think I put it in. Yeah, fantasy world building. There's Arm and Armor, there's astrology, there's cryptozoology, there's fantasy world builder stuff, creating characters, creating culture, creating language. Just a whole bunch of, ideas. Medieval farming, medieval cities, Pantheon. I mean, just a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, hey, like this is kind of like D&D stuff. Like, I'll throw this all together. I don't even care. I'm actually working right now on the location for the stone table that I'm doing as a reference to Narnia.
Dude, I'm lagging so bad right now that I'm not even kidding.
Well, he's lagging too, so.
Yeah, I'm having some issues. It's probably the save's corrupted or something stupid.
Oh no, this is so. It's like if I was on acid, I would be freaking out right now. Like the raft keeps zooting forward at 1 billion miles an hour and then zooting straight backwards at the same speed, and it just fucking. It's rubber banding like that back and forth and back and forth. I can't interact with anything, and I'm starving in my inventory randomly shut up for no reason. What the hell?
I hate to be that guy, but I'm like, how do you know what acid's like?
I know people.
She has a father that was born in the 60s.
I got that. Oh, well, yeah, we all have that kind of father. My father was born in the 50s, and some of the stuff he says, I'm like, dude, he still rocks like the old 70s style dad shorts. And I'm like, those are a crime. Like that should never be. That's public indecency, father. I don't know what you mean. These things were high fashion in my day. Yeah, your day's long gone.
Yeah. Your day was done like a couple decades ago, bro.
They were high fashion, and then the cavemen realized how to wear pants, and that's when they put them on.
Right, absolutely.
What the crap?
This is.
Oh, I'm so angry at that.
This is the
end of the world as we know it.
Troll Beladrid mode. This is a special mode we implemented.
Oh my god! It's working.
There's a corner bit. There's a.
No.
Oh, give me the stick.
There's a barrel.
Give me the more stick.
Is that? Are you gonna do like the pointed stick, like the self-defense against fruit kind of like pointed stick?
Well, I mean, I had one, but I keep breaking it on the shark's face. I was like, why should I make another one?
I keep eating food and it's doing nothing. It's just consuming the food and then I'm still
That's
hungry.
alright. I keep drinking water and eating food, and
I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna follow it up with you know. Have you ever thought about anorexia? Is this something that's following you? You know, maybe you should talk to someone about it.
Anorexia.
I mean,
I'm on a raft. I'm stranded. We're being chased by sharks. Who wouldn't have anorexia at this time?
I'm thinking I could afford to lose, 10 pounds. I'm cool with this. Where's my raft?
I got married, gained like 30 pounds. My wife was like, started on me and stuff. I'm like, what if you didn't cook so good?
See, that's how you gotta do it. You gotta get them off your back by complimenting
Okay.
them.
Well, I try, but she sees right through my stuff, and then I just tell her to go buy yarn. That makes
Explain to
like
me
literally that's my
how this is a thing.
yeah. I mean,
Oh, I see. Hold on. I'm removing your crop plots.
Ah!
No.
Wrong with you, you monster!
well, I mean, she can't even eat the food anyway, so what's the point?
I like to sniff it.
Does the snozberries taste like snozberries? I mean, is that where we're going with this?
I mean, I don't put them in my schnoz, so I couldn't tell you.
So,
Well, it's reasonable enough.
they taste like something, but it ain't snozberries.
Well, then
I-
you must ask
I-
yourself, are you really eating the schnozberries?
Why?
Right.
Why
Absolutely.
you know?
I'm just waiting for the day when someone actually, says something stupid like that. I do play the meow game occasionally on a traffic stop, not gonna lie.
Doesn't hear me out.
Right, absolutely. Well, no, you gotta do it like meow, listen here. And then
No, that's me.
someone will be like, are you doing like meow from like Super Troopers? And I'm like, I don't know what you think is going on here, but I'm a professional and that would be completely unprofessional and I would get yelled at for that. Meow, if you just look right here on this ticket, and they just kind of like stare at you because as long as you don't like
Let on that it's really
Right.
good.
right, you just
They just think that they're going freaking crazy.
You attached.
well, most people I run into are freaking crazy because I'm like, how did you not see me?
Touche.
I
Shark,
choose to
I
not see
can't
you.
stab you in the
That's
face.
how this
and
works.
go away.
Yeah, that's generally how it is. They're like, oh, I had no idea. You had no idea I was following you. No, like so you totally just didn't look back in your mirror at all when I watched you do it. No, okay. Just trying to get your story, figure out what's going on in your head.
No, that is actually called inattentive blindness.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's a psychological thing, and it really happens.
Well,
Why
I
for some
also
reason
tell
you'll see
people
one
that-
thing and you won't actually remember it, sort of thing. It's
Well,
fun
it
to
happens
play
all
with
the time. Like, my personal favorite is when I'm like, oh, I saw you on your cell phone. I wasn't on my cell phone. Sure. I'm blind. I didn't see you, like, immediately put down the
Right,
cell
because
phone.
I just
soon as you
totally
see
made
me.
that up.
Right. I've got nothing better to do with my day. I really wanted to get out of here, get out of my car, come talk to you for 5 minutes, which is going to result in me at least
And
15
this
minutes worth of
freaking
paperwork.
week-
Right, absolutely. With body armor on and all this other, now you're just making me mad because you're that
I
stupid.
totally wanted to potentially risk my life because you could have had a gun under your seat, and I don't know that.
Those
Because
are
I just
those are
decided to
good
kill.
days. Those are good days when I get my hands in a vehicle and then there's a firearm in there and like no one tells me. Talk about me getting instantly upset. Instantly upset. Like, I mean, I get to the point where I'm like, I just need to step away from you for a minute, because if not, I'm gonna put my fist through your face, because I'm so angry at you right now. Well, I didn't even remember. I didn't even think about it. How do you not think about this? I literally just asked you if there's anything in here I need to know about, including weapons, and then you tell me no, and then lie to me. Like, that's cool. I'll hit you with everything I can at that point. Risk my life.
It's better than lying to your buttocks.
Forget. I'd rather have them lie there. It'd be great.
I mean,
at least I wouldn't have to look at them while they were lying to me.
I might have a problem with it if you let people lie on your buttocks.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Only if I get caught.
This one time, back in Nam.
There I was, in a trailer park.
Wait a minute, how do you know my personal story?
Well, yeah. Everyone has a great story about
You got
being
drunk
in a trailer
one
park
day.
one time.
Okay. I need to craft things, but I can't because I can't open my inventory. Okay, I'd open it then. Well, geez, game, way to put my own foot in my mouth.
I was trying. Anything I can do to help.
You know, Lazy, I'm just saying, like, I'm feeling like maybe you should have a little vote and have one less on the Kukucha tribe, because your partner seems worthless.
Yeah, no. I mean, I thought about sacrificing her to the belly gods, but you know.
just like kicking her off the boat and be like, and you've been voted off the island.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Give to me all the rope. Yes. And more nails. I would have the nails.
You can't have
Have at the nails.
This game does seem interesting, though. It seems more interesting than
Oh, no.
what
I
I
thought
thought it.
Well, it used to be just like a single player deal, then they added multiplayer. Now they're going to be adding some kind of boss bird creature eventually.
Oh, I was like a megalodon because that's original.
No. Megalodon.
Megalodons weren't original in the first place. Nature came up with those first.
Well, you know, as someone who nerded out and played Battlefield, when they came out with the whole megalodon thing, you better believe, like, we all went out and set out there. And then years later, I finally watched these Battlefield friend like animated things.
Needs gaming.
About Battlefield.
Yeah.
And they go out there, they're talking about Megalodon, and he's like shooting guys, and I'm like, hey, it's one of my friends. Like we literally were like, dude, no, we're trying to call the shark. Like, this is gonna be great. And the guy comes out and just starts killing people. Stop killing people. Like, we want to see the shark and making things difficult. Speaking of which, that Megalodon maybe looks good. Although I'm not really sure why Jason Statham's
Yeah, I'd
in
like to see him fight underwater. That'd be interesting.
it. Well, I just love it because, you know, it's Shark Week, so of course they're showing it every commercial break. Like, it's getting shown. And I really just love the fact that out of everything in the ocean, there's only one type of giant shark. Everyone knows.
Roseanne Barr.
And it's just funny because he's like, he like looks at the sub and he's like, it's Megalodon. Like, he's like surprised, and I'm like, dude, like, you already seen like the giant teeth marks on the underwater habitat thing. How would you not put two and two together here and know that it's Megalodon? Like, I feel
Failure.
like
I failed.
that was the waves literally saying, "Ha screw you." Oh, and then that happened. Get out of the water.
You saw my limp-wristed throw there, and then the waves were like, nope, you can't have this one.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I want that board. And then the waves are like, oh, yeah, you know that board you wanted?
It's
Yeah,
over
that's
there,
a
buddy.
no.
Go after it.
Hey, but I wanted that.
Get your own
You
barrel,
suck.
Tito Jackson.
Poke it in the face. Poke it in the face. Oh no. I'm out of spiky thing. Well, there goes part of our boat because we decided to run away.
Yeah, I'm out of spiky thing too.
Spiky thing. Your guys' vernacular for game stuff.
Man,
is...
don't be bitching about my nomenclature.
I like her. I think I'll stay. Well, you know, sometimes you either get along with people or you don't. I was like, oh, there's no one else on. Like, all of my people are asleep. I unfortunately have this wonderful thing called I don't sleep. So.
I believe the proper word for that is insomnia, friend.
Oh, talking about articulation of such things. I call it meh.
I call it sleep is for the weak.
Right, absolutely. Until, you know, I'm rolling like 3 or 4 days into work, and then I'm like literally exhausted, and I'm drinking so much Monster that it's like even other officers are looking at me and going, "Dude, that's not healthy."
You're drinking so much Monster, and then you become what?
I mean, if it was that easy, I would just literally poke myself and, you know, just be like, "Oh, look, more Monster. Just recycle the caffeine." No, I do about
You're a dick.
three or 4 a day. Nothing too serious.
I've been waiting to place that there this whole time, and then you just stood right on top of it, so he deserves it.
That seems fair.
I can't even get up on
know,
the freaking raft because I'm so leggy.
Pitch with
she's gonna get eaten by the shark. Sacrifice her to the gods.
Stab you in the stupid ugly face. It's exactly like mine.
Very aggressive. Well done.
Wow.
So, did you guys get to catch the DNL stream? I just rewatched it because I didn't actually get to watch it. So the way the whole server thing, because they originally kind of talked about the servers that we were going to be able to like cross servers, go back and forth between this new environment and the old. They've kind of backtracked on it now. So now, when you go to this new DLC land, it's going to be you carry your experience with you, but that's it. So you don't get to take any creatures with you. You don't get to take your character with you. It's just your knowledge, which is better than
oh man, if I'm
nothing.
taking my knowledge, we're screwed.
You know, I wasn't gonna say.
I think honestly, you just beat her to that because I think that's where that was going. I felt it in the force. I was like, she's gonna let him have it right here about knowledge.
I could feel it coming in the air tonight.
You could feel it coming in your ear tonight. Wow.
Shooting daggers across the room at you. Yeah, that makes sense.
My dagger gun is amazing. Got fantastic range.
We now have the sail back. Oh, come on now. Why always gotta drink water? Psh, act like we're out here in the sun, the ocean. I don't know what's going on with you.
You're surrounded by water.
I just drank 3 cups of it, so don't bitch because I was in the middle of drinking water.
I'm gonna Shaniqua out all over you.
Well then I'm not worried because Shaniqua's a punk.
No, you didn't.
Seems legit.
No, don't make me. Damn it, Bobby. I'll do
it. You do sound like Hank Hill.
You know, nobody's ever told me that.
I'm sure, not at all, ever.
You learn something new every day.
Damn it,
Dealing
Bobby!
propane accessories.
There you go. You gotta learn to incorporate that into your your floor and stuff. Just be like, you know, pull one of those Dr. Phil moments. You know, if you just buy this propane, all of your needs will be
You
fulfilled.
just buy this propane, you'll think I'm a doctor, and you'll listen to what I say.
Right, absolutely. I have no PhD whatsoever. Everyone listens to my advice.
Yeah, that is super depressing.
Well, you know, hey, I mean that actually should be
Hashtag
not this shouldn't be
psychologist
depressing
training.
at all, because then you're like, hey, I could do that job. So you just have to be really good at telling people what to do, and boom, you've got the job.
I'm going to school for psychology, yo.
Well,
That shit's
listen.
depressing.
I try to avoid psychology and brain games because I don't even want to know what's going on.
We're on a
in my
race
head.
with another thing being like us. That one. The one with the face and the hair.
So does that mean that? So like, is there other players here in this world with you, or is that just like another ship that you can like scrap off of? Gotcha.
Oh, you're going towards that little guy. Ooh, that's on the 3rd level too. You know, I can't actually help you out with this because the world is a rubber band.
I was gonna say the way that her world is set up, there's a checking and a savings.
The world is a vampire?
And there's no savings going on, it's all just checks. And they're bouncing.
Yeah, someone said the other day, they're like, I pay your salary. I said, that's great, can I get a raise? Because I'm poor. And they kind of just looked at me, and I'm like, well, I mean, if you're
don't be a little bitch.
If you're seriously gonna offer, like, yeah, I'll totally take a raise. Like, I need more money. Well, you work for the state.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't mean jack.
Oh no.
The state's cheap, brother.
What? Did you get it to the floor?
I did, cause bitch, I'm glitching. I'm glitching in the best way. Just call me Princess Penelope.
Skeeter Davis over there just got excited.
I was gonna say, she's like hardcore. Like that shark's like hardcore circling that raft. I was like, yep, I'm gonna eat her as soon as she touches the water, and she's like, nope, I'm gonna glitch right over top of it. You ain't got nothing.
What I want.
Watch me whip and nay.
I'll whip that name.
That just got dirty.
Oh my.
She gets super dirty sometimes.
Well, you know.
We don't color.
You can't make me blush, so.
For nothing.
I'd
She
make a
would.
terrible
She would be
Spider-Man.
just the worst Spider-Man ever. You left your goop.
I mean, the first problem is I'm not a man. I mean,
Well, I was gonna. That's where I was going with it. I was like, well, you're not a dude. So there's that. Unless you are a dude, but well, I don't have to be politically
Dude
correct
disguised
all
as
the
a
time.
dude playing another dude.
Right, you know. Well, I finally, it's been not much on like going to the movies and seeing things, so I have finally went back and watched Ready Player One. It's been out forever. And the one dude's like, he was like, oh, you never know, like, could be a dude, like, 30s, living in his parents' garage. And I'm like, huh, that actually is a lot of games out there where you're like, oh, hey, what's going on? And then you find out
look
it's
at
a
Resident
dude.
Evil. You had Leon, who was living in his parents'
yeah.
garage.
Right, absolutely.
Where's all the fish that's supposed to feed my belly? There's one.
I believe the sharks eat.
Consume the salmon.
No, the shark's too busy trying to eat
All
this.
of the salmon is our mine.
Eat this. I'm sorry, talking about salmon because I'm in here eating some shark meat. Ooh-ha.
Yes, awesomeness. But it's like, someone's like, oh, you should totally stream. I'm like, I should totally not. Not tonight. I don't even care to tonight. Maybe.
Well, you are inadvertently streaming.
Well, I'll share the channel rather than streaming. Well, especially like if I'm like just doing boring stuff, just painting landscape and stuff like that.
Did you just call me a land hoe?
Is he painting you?
I mean, because right now I'm a water
painting
hoe,
you?
but I mean, I can be a land hoe. I'm just saying.
You're just a hoe.
We could.
You're just a hoe.
We could. Ooh ha ha.
Did you
Doo bop a doo.
get a little
Hey,
excited
absolutely. What you said hoe and that,
No,
My boat.
he ate my boat.
What? Get off my lawn.
You don't know.
you sound quite angry.
No,
No, he ate my
The
boat.
corner.
I am.
I came around the corner and he was just like, I'm gonna eat your boat. And I tried to stab him in the face and he was like, too late, bitch, I'm outie. And I was angry.
And then words happened.
Words with a whole bunch of verbs.
Are you okay, friend?
No,
Me either, it's all
What
good.
the crap?
we're all like not okay. I mean, that's just that's society
Give me
anymore.
this. I'm gonna make myself a metal spear, and this
Hashtag
shark is gonna be my bitch.
Everyone's broken, so being a
Everyone's broken, so being a psychologist is the best job ever. Job
That's
security.
true. Absolutely.
Did you say something about being a footballer's job security? Oh wait, what? I'm just throwing a metal spear.
I mean,
kind of, I guess, if your
idea of job security is to be
Or-
dead.
Well, you could do, you know, you could always be a chaplain for the flying spaghetti monster. I hear they're always looking for people. Which the military actually recognizes as a religion. Kid you not. Followed closely by Jedi.
I'm telling you, dude, seriously, psychology.
I'm telling you, dude, seriously, psychology is where the money's at.
I'm not smart enough. I don't have any school willpower in me.
So
Period.
what you're
I
saying
really
is you're
don't.
not a Jedi. See?
No. Nope. I spent the majority of my military career shooting things with machine guns, and then followed that closely by becoming a police officer and shooting things with a pistol, and sometimes a
Pretty
machine gun.
sure
Guns are awesome.
So not
guns are
school
awesome.
oriented. Oh, guns are great. I love guns, but I'm not school oriented. Like my wife is. My wife, she's super smart. I'm not smart. I'm just lucky.
Brains versus brawn.
It's
Brains versus brawn.
street smarts.
Did you just call me fat?
Brawn does not mean fat.
Brawn does not mean fat.
Well, I mean,
Learn the vernacular.
again, I you know,
Did you just call yourself stupid?
I only know like the
Just
only big
call
words I
yourself
really
stupid.
know. Absolutely. The only big words I know is like articulate, fear for
Rectangle.
my life.
That's actually a series of
Yeah, just the
Kama
very
Sutra.
basic. Right, you know, only the important things that you need to know. Hakuna Matata only on like various other days.
What
It's
a
like
wonderful
every other day.
phrase.
It really is.
You know, it's ironic. It really
You know,
wasn't a
it's
passing
ironic.
craze.
It
Until you
really
have to
wasn't
sing
a
it.
passing craze. 'Cause,
No,
I mean, still around.
that's true. Well, now Disney's doing a live action, so I was
I'm
kind of
worried.
thinking. Me too. I was like, all your other live action. Really? You chose Hermione Granger to play Belle in Beauty and the Beast. You couldn't find anyone better.
Yeah,
Sure.
that one kind of took me out of the immersion, but I was impressed otherwise with how close they got to the actual original. Because, you know, how many times has Disney remade Cinderella? And they really don't like to keep things.
Well, we have to, you have to keep up with pop culture.
Ugh.
And now the pop culture is we're out of ideas for movies. Let's just make more movies of stuff that we've already got, and hope it's better this time, or they'll be retarded and watch it anyways.
Hey.
Hey, I do that. I just don't pay for it.
Pays for horses.
Aren't you glad you're here?
No, I'm a jackass.
I mean, I do enjoy eating cow. It's kind of like my thing.
Cow is delicious, but venison is better. I'm gonna poke you in the face.
I deer hunt every year. Some years I get lucky, some years I don't.
I mean, hey, how's it going?
I
gonna stab you back.
had a proper raising and education. I know where all the good stuff is. At least I know when the world goes to shit. People need me, so.
You weren't paying attention to that.
I can hunt and I can survive and I can shoot stuff well. My wife the other day we were talking about the zombie apocalypse, and I was like, yeah, I'll at least be useful. I've got all this, stuff I can do. I was like, she's like, yeah, like we should totally kill off people that aren't useful.
Wow.
And I stopped, we were at a stoplight,
Brutality.
and I just looked at her and was like, so what are you good
you.
at? And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, for killing off people that doesn't have anything, I'm like, obviously I have, various protection qualities, and
I have a particular set of skills.
And I can poke things with a pointed stick. What are you good at? And she's like, well, I can knit things, and I'm like, until we run out of yarn. Can you make yarn? Do you know how to make yarn? She's like, if you want to eat tonight, I suggest you just stop there. So we definitely compromised, and I stopped there.
Women, you can't.
See, lazy is just whatever. And if I were to give him that ultimatum, he'd be like, bitch, I know how to make goat cheese sandwiches, and he would do that.
I can eat a fucking omelet.
I know how to live. Right.
No, you
I can break a few eggs.
Yeah, he's
some
breaking
zombie,
on my face while I was
some
sleeping.
zombie toad
Wow.
kebabs. I don't know. I'd find something.
Yeah, I mean, we've figured it out.
Horrid. Go
Until
drive.
you're hungry.
Go drive it that way. Go drive it that way.
So,
Yeah,
so
because
needy.
go drive
Yeah,
it that way really
Yeah,
helps.
because
With
if I do this and then rotate it
Shit.
the other way, it's gonna get really mad.
right, you can't. Well, even besides that, if you just look away that you don't see her, how do you know which way is that way?
Because he did see me. He turned and
Well,
looked at me, and I was like,
to be fair, I watched the stream and I seen him turn and look. I was like, you had an opportunity to be absolutely belligerent to the situation. And
Yeah.
you failed.
oh, he does that all the time. He throws me an occasional bone. Dude, I can't play
No, I'm
Minecraft
super
with this
trolling.
guy.
I refuse to play
They
Minecraft. It just I can't get into it. I've tried. Everyone's like, oh my god, you should totally come play Minecraft. It's great. And I'm like, if I wanted to play with 1980
It's great when you
graphics,
control somebody
I would've
when they're
played
building a
more
bridge
games.
across to somewhere else and you just break the block under them and watch them fall to their death. It's great.
Yeah, when they're holding stuff like diamond.
Well, I did
When they're
like,
holding stuff like diamond.
well,
Bastard.
at that point, I just immediately followed up with, well, do you want to build like a
That's
snowman?
funny you should
Like,
say that because in my house
You know, it's funny you should say that because in my house tonight on Minecraft, a couple of friends of mine decided they're going to put a living snowman in my house while I was gone.
Nice.
And
Very
to
kind
be
of them.
belligerent,
Um,
instead of naming it, you know, Olaf, because they were like, "Oh, do you want to build a snowman, Beladrid?" I was like, "Nope, his
I
name
didn't
is
actually
Frederick."
jump on that raft, so it's not sinking. It's got no loot though. It's a lonely raft. Kind of like Lonely Island, except it's a raft. Get out there. No.
With Michael Bolton,
Well, I mean,
or without Michael Bolton.
You gotta have some Michael Bolton, especially with some Lonely Island.
Well, yeah, absolutely. One does not simply quote Lonely Island without Michael Bolton, at least referenced in there somewhere.
I'm on a boat, motherfucker.
Well, the only thing I think Dark and Light's really missing is there's no lions. There should definitely be lions.
I don't know why,
I
but for some
poked
reason I was
Zephyr like 3 or 4 times.
I ran all the way around,
No, there's a shark
and
eating
he was
things.
on the opposite side.
Slacker.
If I drink all the water, she'll have none.
It's true.
Slacker, no slacking.
Stupid.
Slave drivers
Stupid
more like
friggin'
it.
mechanic,
Gosh.
scrap mechanic duck. I
Sure,
can't
sure.
get
Blame the
around it to
mechanics.
fill up the water for you. I'm sorry.
He is a mechanic.
Well,
I'll blame the mechanic all the time.
that makes more sense now. Now I know why he breaks things and his colors are weird. Is he partially colorblind? Because it makes sense.
Perhaps. I think he might just
That's
be
pretty much true, but still.
Well, you know, that's why he was like, I'm totally giving this idea to my wife to work on it. I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't even care. Like, as long as she comes up with something, you know, awesome. Like, you were showing me some stuff, and I was like, oh, that looks so awesome. Because at least I can trust that it's artistically done.
I mean, you've seen my
mod,
mod, and it just looks like somebody vomited all over the page.
I just threw colors everywhere.
You know what? Somebody actually put in the reasons for disliking this mod page, discussion thingy. Somebody actually put the dinos look like glowing vomit. I was like, okay. You want to be a little bit more specific than that? Because that's not actually criticism so much as it's an insult.
Were you just born stupid?
Yes,
or...
how did you know?
Do you know how to give constructive criticism? Because that's not how you give constructive.
Well, I've had people that have come out and been like, hey, like, the other guy, he's like, you got like a bunch of like floating stuff way out there, like way on the edge of the world. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's on the edge of the world, because you're not supposed to go out there. Oh.
It's not ready yet, dumbass.
I was like, did you not see like the whole area was kind of flat, not colored, and nothing was out there? Well, yeah. Don't go there. Problem
The
solved.
realm
There's a
of
reason for
stupidity out there is just, it's insane.
Common
Wait,
sense is no longer
there's
common.
Change? Can it has change?
That, you know, well, you can't accept change anymore because that's offensive now too. I literally am waiting for the day when I stop someone and be like, "Excuse me, ma'am, did you just assume my identity?" Well, I'm looking at your driver's
Did you
license.
just assume my gender?
Yeah.
Like, well, unfortunately for you, arrow gender is not something applicable to your driver's license. So yes, I did.
When I was
We
getting
don't
ready
have a prison
to
specific for arrow gender.
Right. Well, when I was getting ready to retire from the army, like you have to do like this whole behavioral health thing, and the whole time I'm like, I'm fine. Like they're like, oh, you have like PTSD, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'm fine. They're like, no, 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 you really do. And I said, listen, I'm going to law enforcement. Like, that's not something that they like to hear. I'm fine, really. I promise, I'm okay. And they're like, well, don't take this the wrong way, but how do you identify yourself? And I was like, what? They're like, how do you identify yourself? And I'm like, identify myself as me? And they're like, well, no, 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 like, you know, how do you refer to yourself? And I was like, oh, Abrams tank. And they're like, what? And I said, Abrams tank. And they're like, what do you mean? And I said, identify as an Abrams tank. Can you put that in there? And she was like, we'll just have to put other and add that in. I was like, you're seriously going to put that in? Or are you really that dumb? It's like, nah, I'm okay. Really am.
I looked at a list of genders that quote unquote exist for the hell of it. Apparently, and I was unaware of this, apparently genders can have a lightness or darkness shade, and they can have a hardness or softness scale. So you can have a very soft gender.
Oh, I'm definitely
I try
dark
to keep my
hard.
gender very moisturized.
I'm a dark hard. No, I'm gonna go immediately 100 and go dark hard, just all the time. To be followed up with, you know, some people are harder than others.
No.
I killed it. I made that shark my bitch.
Next on Shark Bitch.
Right. As your boat is drifting away, and turn around and the boat's gone, and you're like, well, that happened.
I still got to the boat before he did. Oh.
Laggy and all that. Well, he's you know, he's a horrible swimmer.
It looked like he just reeled in a diamond.
I reeled in a shut your
in the
face.
rough.
Your face is the shut.
I'm only talking about Shaft. Can you dig it?
Wait, what?
It's a great movie.
She's coming at me with a hammer. Violence. Violence. It's boat violence.
I punch you in the face with this hammer.
Listen, just because she hits you with a hammer because you're stupid doesn't quote.
I didn't say anything about domestic. We're not domesticated.
Yeah, I'm a girl. I can't do domestic violence against you. I'm a woman. Only guys can be domestically violent.
Right, yeah. I love that. You show up to the call. And, actually, the worst domestic violence I've had are same sex. Those are like, when they call about those, I'm like, I'm gonna need like 6 officers. It's about to get real.
Give me some freaking backup. We need SWAT.
Like, immediately call SWAT.
Bring a
But yeah, society as a whole anymore is like, literally, you could tell me something and I'd be like, yep, I believe it. Someone told me today that one of the organizations is trying to recognize pedophilia as a sexual orientation. I'm like, yep, I believe it.
Dude, there's what's it called? NAMBLA, North American Man-Boy Love Association, are trying to become recognized as a protected sexual orientation group, saying
I believe it.
It doesn't actually affect negatively the boys in any shape or form. It in fact enriched their life.
Well, you know, if it's enriching, I mean.
See, in other countries it's called prostitution.
No, that's unfortunately Taiwan, Korea, Vietnam.
To be 100% honest with you, I spent time in the Middle East. Women were for reproduction, and that was it. Like, it's just, I always told my guys, I was like, hey, don't get caught. Like, what do you mean? I said, don't get captured. Why you say that? And you take him out and drive around, and you're like, this is why you don't get captured. Because it gets creepy and wrong really quickly. And they're like, alright, I'm like, so yeah, if there's a possibility, you might as well just kill yourself and be done with it. It's probably going to be better off.
There's this little capsule that you will find inside your belt bag.
Right.
If you break it in your mouth with your teeth, you will die.
You gotta have the tooth implant. You gotta go hardcore.
Oh,
See,
or like the hydrant.
someone needs to make one of them capsules that you bite down on it and it emits like a Batman signal that says, "You an idiot" or something. Yeah, just something.
Here's your sign.
Be like,
Yeah,
haha, you
absolutely.
thought you were getting out of this.
Oh yeah. I was, let's see, it was 2 weeks ago. Had a traffic stop. Sweet potatoes in a vehicle that does not contain groceries is, like, it was just peculiar. The guy did not look like an individual who ate sweet potatoes in general. But it was just like weird because they were like placed in his car in weird places. And I'm like, okay. So I asked him about it.
Maybe he really likes the smell of sweet potatoes.
Well, that's what he was like. He's like, what's this? So I got a bad feeling. So I called for a K9 to come out. Of course, the K9 hits. As soon as the K9 hits, like, the guy's like, we go through and pull stuff out. He's like, ah, man, someone told me that, like, literally without a beat, it was like, ah, man, someone told me if I put sweet potatoes, the dog couldn't smell the drugs. I'm like, yeah, because that
works in every
makes
country.
perfect sense. Maybe you should get information not from the internet.
I know, right? I've heard coffee grounds from dark coffee, but I mean, these dogs can smell cancer if you train them to do that.
Yeah, these dogs aren't stupid.
It doesn't seem likely that coffee is going to suddenly make
Police
them go, oh
department
no.
spend like $6,000 to $8,000 on their training. I don't think they would spend that kind of money on something that wouldn't work. It's just
Something that could be fooled by a sweet potato.
Just realized.
right. I mean, I've pulled drugs out of someone's pocket, and he would like literally turn around and be like, "Hey, those aren't mine." And I'm like, "Well, where did you get them? Like, whose drugs are they?" Oh, well, it's not that the drugs are not mine. He's like, "These pants are not mine," and I'm like, "So you're saying the drugs are yours, but the pants aren't?" Like, what are we doing here with this? And he's like, no.
So,
like,
am I arresting
the
you for
drugs, right? Like, I'm like, so what's yours and what's not yours? Well, the drugs aren't mine, and the pants aren't mine. So you're wearing just a random guy's pants. Well, he's not random. I know who he is. Well, who is it? It's my cousin.
Well, it's fantastic. Tell me who it is so I can pick him up and arrest his ass.
Right. Well, I'm like, it's your cousin. He's like, yeah. I'm like, you got his number? He's like, yeah. I'm like, let's call him. He's like, what? Like, just immediately, like, his world was just crumbling. Cause I was like, let's call him. What do you mean? I mean, let's call him. Like, if these are, I don't want you to get charged with these drugs if they're not yours. You know, I'm trying to look out for you, brother. So, if we need to figure out what's going on, so let's figure out what's going on. Let's get this guy. So that way, I don't want you to take the fall for it. And he's like, okay. So I call, like, the cousin. Like, I'm sitting there with the phone in my hand, right by the guy, talking to him about, said, hey, I just wanted to let you know I pull out some methamphetamine out of this guy's pocket. And he's like, oh, geez. And I said, but he says that these pants are definitely not his and that they belong to you. And he's like, I haven't seen him in, like, a year. I'm like, okay, that's good enough for me. Thanks. Go ahead and turn around and place your hands behind your back.
Guess who's not getting a Scooby snack?
You a dumbass.
Right. Like, I'm totally charging you with possession of it. Nah, brother, I'm serious. They're not mine. Well, because you called me brother, like, I totally.
This whole time we could have been boys. I didn't even know. My bad.
I know, right? Oh, you said brother, that's the magic
I know,
Right.
right? Oh, you said brother, that's the magic word. problem.
Yeah, get out of jail free card. Done. Alright, so all I need now is the stone table, and I'll be set.
Don't place. Why won't you place? You're even in the green.
Aha.
You should be placing.
I'm gonna go with user error.
It's definitely like it's even
No. It's
Error
definitely
for
like it's
file
even
not
Hidden,
found.
hidden.
the ID 10
I-
tier.
I definitely like the picket fence kind of look to it. Now, if we had a shrubbery, can we place one above the other one so that we get like the tiered effect with maybe a little path
I
going
don't
down the
know.
middle?
Yeah, I'm up for anything.
Yeah.
That's how I roll.
I like rules.
Uh oh,
I
you're
like rules.
quit poking your better.
Save that for later.
What? What?
Yeah, save that for later, douchebag.
What? What? Half whack. I'm out of wood.
Advertising for them now?
You left me
Are
without
we
wood.
advertising for them now?
I did a lot.
There's a cream for
They
that?
make medication.
I did
for
a
that
lot.
No, I completely missed that.
Actually, it's a pill.
Shh. Nobody saw that in stream. What are you talking about? I was right on that one.
Well, look at the bright side. There's only, never mind. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including me, in here. Although it only shows up that there's 2 people watching, but everyone else is invisible. I love that. I'll be like doing stupid stuff, and I'll be like, "Man, I'm glad no one's watching." And then I'll pull it up, and there's like 6 people watching. I'm like, "Gosh darn you guys and your invisibleness."
Some top deck
Damn
barrel
you and
grabbing.
your
No, I missed
stealth.
it. You suck. And then the thing glitched out. No, you get back. You get over here. No.
I am.
Yeah, you definitely pull the you definitely pull rope like a
I'm
seaman.
dying. Oh, thirst.
You and your semen.
Oh, Jesus. You
You're
gotta fill this
semen
water back up. Almost. You're gonna.
I have
Wait,
been filling up the water.
are you identifying?
No,
you
no, I'm
that
telling
she
her
has to do it
she's
'cause
gonna be upgraded to Latoya.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You trying to tell me?
I'm gonna start
I need to
calling
get
her
back in the kitchen?
Latoya Jackson. She ain't even gonna get Tito treatment anymore.
You're showing your age.
I'm only
At least
12,
I get the reference.
12 and a half. Oh, I just dumped the water out instead of putting it in there.
Mentally.
Bless you. Or Gesundheit, or whatever. Loofer and height, whatever.
You're gonna do
whatever
what with the
you prefer.
loofah?
Put it in her eye. Never.
Only
Put it
if
in
you
her eye.
watch.
That's what I heard.
Only if you watch.
It's a weird fetish, friend.
Well, you know, it's not bad as long as you don't
Probably
make eye
for me to
contact.
judge.
Isn't that
It'd be hard. Well, that's. I mean, isn't that? If you're putting it in her eye, you have to contact it.
But you don't have to make eye contact though. Like
I feel like that would
your eye to her eye. You can just look away and just
I feel
guess
like
and
that would be
test.
painful.
Well, you know.
Let me just touch your
Mine
eyeball with
eyeball.
mine.
Don't look at me. See, now you're just taking it to like a whole Nazi level.
Hey, go to that island. Go to that island.
I mean, it's
Hey.
it's
Hey,
cool.
go to that
You
island.
know,
Go to that
this
island.
whole, let's build this raft up.
Do it. Do it.
You can like drive the boat too, you know.
But I want that. Yeah, no, I really can't. I can on any other level of not glitchiness, but like,
Why,
it's not
where's
even...
he eating the boat at, man?
I'm thinking.
You hear that?
I don't even know how you know how he's eating the boat.
He makes noise.
Oh, I've got the stream muted, so I don't get the whole like redacting of volume over and over and over again. I get in that whole dark hole
horse.
of the stream. Yeah, well, no one
Alright.
watched, no one listened to the Dark Horse album. That's just wrong on so many levels.
What did you say? Are you? No, man. No.
Nobody likes Nickelback
You
that
know who-
much.
Dark Horse does DC Comics. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, but DC
What?
Comics
This
has
is
been
beside the point.
sad and disappointing. Almost as sad and disappointing as the DC's attempt to make superhero movies. It's almost as bad as Marvel's attempt to do Spider-Man. I mean,
Yeah, it's not gone well for either, has it?
Now, see,
Oh,
the
Vault.
Amazing Spider-Man, I thought was pretty decent, but then that guy screwed up and didn't show up for something, and then he got canned.
Yeah, that guy was awesome.
yeah, well,
Yeah, that guy was awesome.
I did think he
I
was
like that.
better than
Yeah.
the kid's okay, but
I mean, I know that that's all.
But he's a kid, man.
well, you
I
know.
mean, I know that Peter Parker was a kid, but at the same
Hey,
time, like,
you should come finish this
at
tree
least
for
it's
me.
not Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, polish your wood by yourself.
Things to not say during
You
stream.
can't polish your wood by yourself.
Giggity.
Giggity.
Hi.
Well, I mean, it could. I love how you're picking up pineapples from like just random plant. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna take a pineapple here. This is.
Hey, it fell
Oh
on.
no!
That's awesome.
I watched a
Hey, it fell on the belt. That was awesome.
literally watched a guy who was like they were praising him. He had never eaten, I guess, fruit before, and like they were like praising him for eating fruit, and I'm like, no, like this is why we have a weird society. Like, stop, you know, don't congratulate him because he ate fruit. Like, I don't care. Like, that's what you say. It's fruit, dude. You're not like running a
The
triathlon.
anchor.
You're not special.
You-
Also, I don't fucking believe
It's
you
just
because
fruit.
your mother would feed her
Also, I don't fucking believe you because any decent mother would feed her child fruit. So either you have a terrible mom or you're a terrible liar.
I'm totally gonna grab you that video.
Oh,
Like, it was painful to watch. I'll actually grab you. There's this guy called the Angry Cop. He's a police officer, but he's also I don't know if he's still. I want to say he's still in, but he's like a drill instructor, so he's a drill sergeant, but he's also a police officer. So I think he's like reserved now. But he does a lot of funny videos on therapy and military stuff, and then police stuff. It's pretty good. But he does the whole thing on this fruit thing, and he's like, no, what is wrong with you?
You're a terrible human being.
Pretty much.
how come?
Oh, Zephyr like totally messaged me. I missed that. Sorry, Zephyr. And don't.
No, you're a terrible human being.
No, you're a terrible human being.
He sent me back a heart. It's like he
Oh.
cares.
That one time.
He's just in it.
Give me some wood.
At the trailer park
Some
again.
plankies.
Paying.
Is that like whispering sweet nothings in your ear? My wife said that once. She's like, you know, I love you more if you just whispered a sweet nothing in my ear every once in a while. So for like a week, I'd walk by her, and every time I walk by her, I just lean in and go, nothing, and then just walk
Yes.
out. She's like, I hate you. You're the one that said it.
I was totally gonna say that's where you just walk by and whispering nothing. But you
Right,
didn't.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm that kind of asshole. And she's like, you're an asshole. And I'm like, well, at least at least we're all on the same page.
I'm an
here.
asshole, but you love me.
Right, you put up with me for oh gosh, like 7 years now. I think you're.
Oh god. Oh,
Listen, how many times have I told you? Don't call me God in front of your husband. It
Yep.
gives him.
That's totally how
romance
this
syndrome.
works.
he's already got that. He doesn't need help. Oh.
The burn is from that gonorrhea.
Well, sometimes it happens.
Look, I built
Pretty
you a
good.
running jump ramp.
Hey,
A running jump ramp?
A what?
Mhm.
A run and jump ramp?
Oh, you shouldn't have.
I to be fair, I also thought he said dumb
Yeah, I heard dope.
or
I bet
dope.
you a go
I
take a
couldn't
dump raft.
understand if it
Yeah,
was
I
dump
heard
or
dope.
dope.
I,
Just let me finish.
You build her a
Just let
poop
me
deck? Is that what you're saying? Listen, this is an arc. They don't just get the whole, like, someone was asked something about, hey, well, we need an overhaul to Dark and Light's crop problem besides fertilizer, and I'm like, immediately I was like, dino poop. And then just like dot dot dot. Well, no, I was thinking of like this, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's like a way
That's not
better
as
idea
fun.
than I kind of enjoyed running around collecting dino poop for no apparent reason, and then, you know, drugging one of my animals so it would poop more. That's not horrible and harboring to an animal in any way. That's not the basis of creature. What animal abuse? Yeah, that's what I was going
that's
for.
the words. For a second there, you couldn't even.
Well, you know,
Oh,
it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've been up since
excuse
2 o'clock yesterday. So
Come here.
yesterday morning. Are you teabagging the boat? Like, I don't understand why.
A man's got a red.
Or are you
suit that
are you
scribbles
Oompa
the bits
Loompa
off
dancing?
everything.
Like, I just. Oh, you got the chaff. Got it. That makes more sense.
He's got
It's like-
something. That's
I was
okay.
like, why are you teabagging the hole? It just doesn't make. Oh, you're baiting the
Because-
shark.
That
Got
could be
it.
a man of
Hole.
constant sorrow or
Like,
Why would
something.
totally.
anybody teabag a hole?
Well, that's why I threw in the Oompa Loompa thing, because I mean, if you were orange with green hair, I feel like that would be constant sorrow for you anyways, in the basis of slave labor. Hey, look at the bright side. You never got, fondled by Johnny Depp.
All I can think of is Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to sleep with that horrible thought in my brain now.
What, did you wanted to get fondled by Johnny Depp?
No, that
She
was like
says.
a nightmare.
Yeah, well.
Sorry, Johnny, but you wear more makeup than I do.
That's what I was just. He wears
Speechless.
he wears a lot of bracelets too. I've seen, because my wife likes Johnny Depp, and she's like, oh, like, I think he's hilarious, Captain Jack Sparrow, and I'm like, yeah, I agree, he's hilarious, but I also
He's
agree that
quite
that guy
a-
like accessorizes way too much for a guy.
I must say he's quite fabulous.
I must say he's quite fabulous.
Oh, I mean, hey, for that amount of money, I mean, even I would be
Kitty.
considering
Yeah.
doing awkward. and
Hey, don't you mean it?
inappropriate
Hey,
things.
hey.
It was more like a hey with like 3 Y's on it
Hey,
and a
kitty.
smiley face.
That
with,
shark
like,
wouldn't come at me. I had the metal spear in my hand. He's like, nope, I'm out. Ja.
Oh, shit, I'm out.
It's like an episode of Air Jaws. They're just gonna come from. Yep, see, there it was. And then he glitched through the island. Oh my God, it's Ark. They can fly.
Dude,
I don't know if you guys were ever
Not
part
even
of
kidding.
Ark when they first came out.
Yeah,
And
the
the
kid's so
megalodons
laggy
could
that
like
the
fly.
game couldn't keep up, so it was just ticking the water creatures out of the water.
Ouch.
Well, I literally was building on the beach somewhere, and I seen like the megalodon swimming out there, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and like swam out just enough that I could like see it, and then I swam back out to the shore, and then all of a sudden I just died on the beach, and I'm like, what in the world's going on? And I turn around and there's a megalodon like swimming in the air, and I'm like, he must have had a case of Red
This is
Bull or something.
motherfucking
That guy's got
Narnia or
wings.
something, man.
He can fly. I'm getting nibbled on the whole time I'm screaming. This doesn't seem physically possible.
And my favorite thing is almost every other update they release, there's like some kind of creature overspawn. So Pelagornis was
Oh yeah, that was always good.
really, really bad.
Oh, Pelagornis
You
were
go out in the boat and
horrible.
then you crash because there's thousands of them bastards in here.
Well, and then they had like the whole thing after they had like released the center. They're like, yeah, we're doing the center now, and we've added the sea scorpion and the donkey and that whole like they were overspawning so much that all the servers were crashing, and we're like, fix this, and they're like, oh hey, like we're totally gonna fix this, and they'd be like, we fixed it, and then it was like, hey, they're still overspawning. Well, if you guys go into your INI file and change this, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really help us when we're on official.
Go to your INI file and, you know, just fix the spawning issue to start with, you stupid ass.
Right. Well, I requested that we get some more blueprinting stuff released. Hopefully the devs Dark and Light will release them so that I can, because I had it for Arc 2 when I did Dinotopia. ISO still uses it in hers. We had a blueprint set up that I could edit the spawns without editing them. So it's still, so like your overhaul mods with like the creatures and stuff, because you tie them to the creature in the spawner, because of the way that you guys do that, if I just went in and made custom spawners, your mods wouldn't work because they're not referenced in the same place. Well, with this, it will work because it reads them in their original spawner and then kind of like creates a child and edits the child immediately after. So all your stuff still works because it's still all referenced there. And it was nice. I don't want to just do custom spawners on the map because then your mods won't work. And then people get angry and yell at me. Then I get angry back and pull my mod. Like Dinotopia. I still work on it every once in a while, but they're like, you haven't updated it in like years. I'm like, yeah, I know. You guys piss me off.
It's amazing how people will tell you how to do it, and yet they haven't put out their own mod. If it's so easy, why are you not doing it? Why are you trying to get somebody else to? I don't get it.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, this is where the Beladrid has to leave, because the Beladrid cannot do anything. She's consumed 1.5 whole watermelons and has not gained any water back.
So in other words, you're telling us that you're literally worthless now. Well, more so than normal.
Somebody should kill me.
Well, yeah. Me having to work
Feed her to the fish.
in the morning, I'm probably going to have to take off here pretty soon and stuff too. So.
Yeah, I probably should like attempt to lay in bed with my wife.
That extra effort.
Attempt to sleep. I mean, I know it's a joke, and I'd much rather just stay on here and do some stuff. But probably should do that before she gets angry and throws something pointed or edged or shoots me again with the taser. Never tell her that she won't do anything again. Just had a bad. I had a bad day, and to be fair, I was taking it out on her. And I shouldn't have. it was a bad day, and I needed to decompress, and she just started as soon as I walked through the door, and she said something, and I had my taser, my duty holster, and I had just taken my holster off and set it on the counter, and she was yelling about something. I said, whatever. I said, shut up. She's like, I'll tase you. I'm like, you don't have the balls. She, let alone, man, it was a matter of seconds. She's never used my taser before. Like, it's not something hey, here's how you use this. She pulls it out and just shoots me with it. Barbs and all, so now I have to go to the police department the next day and explain why I need a new cartridge for my taser. To which, when you discharge your tasers, there's a camera in there, and it records it, so that way you can see what you're, tasing. Yeah, they pulled that video. That became a department joke for a long time.
I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Oh man, I'm laughing at you. Fuck this whole with you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm laughing at you. Fuck this all with you bullshit.
Well, the good thing about it was it was the old X26 and not the X2. The X2 X26, it's a 5-second ride, and then it like kicks off, and it won't let you tase them again without there's a delay. The X2, because it's got 2 separate cartridges that set in it, I can hit you with that, let you do the 5-second ride, and then I can hit you with another set, or I can hit someone else with them and then tase them both at the same time. So I lucked out that it wasn't that one. But yeah, so as soon as it kicked off the trigger, I jumped up and grabbed it out of her hands, because I was like, yeah, I'm not going for that trip twice. Because the whole time, she's tasing me, she's screaming at me like, who do you think you are talking to me that way? The whole time I'm screaming, because it hurts.
I'm sorry, but the reason that I'm laughing at this point is because I'm like, dude, if I had a taser in my hand and Chip said you don't have the balls,
I would hope she'd say,
that's a
if I
challenge
said
that's
you
not
don't
gonna
have the
hurt
balls,
me
she would
at all.
say, you are correct, sir, I don't have that kind of equipment, but it never goes like that.
And I would immediately tase you after saying that.
No, it's immediately like they get offended.
Tase you after saying that. Like, as a matter of fact, I don't have the balls. I've got a uterus, and it's a lot better equipped at pounding, and then I tase you in the nuts.
Wow, she specifically aims for the nutsack.
Ruthless.
I mean, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I would probably get that looked at. Get that old thinker looked at, because that's a big concern. There's a lot of violence and rage there.
She spent a lot of time in the
I'm
closet
from
with R.
Montana,
Kelly,
friend.
I'm just saying.
Oh, well.
Man, you get paid all that much, you just have a lot of rage.
You love Berettas and peeing on people, that's like...
Oh my god. Listen, no one loves the Beretta anymore. That thing is worthless. I looked, they give me one I never sees, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, I can take it apart, so I can throw
it's
3
gonna
pieces
jam
at
the first time.
Great.
So I don't know how I fired it the second time, and then we'll throw it at you.
Right.
Why did it explode in my face?
That's the only valid option I have.
That's what she said.
Well, guys, this evening's been fun. I'm glad I hopped in to say hey. It's always a pleasure. I enjoyed, watching him do all the work, and you stand around and complain that you couldn't do the work. But yeah, so enjoy the rest
streaming, and people could have seen me hauling around a barrel on my back for half the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then been like, this piece of shit right here won't save the world and fix it, or start over from the beginning. No, we've gotta just go with what we got and make sure that
pretty much.
It's all good. Makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah, I'll
Yeah, man, take it easy. It's,
holler at you guys when I see ya. Have
Later,
fun
later.
out there in the neck of the woods that you're in, where it's
no, just
not